Kathy Vick, deeply awake. Welcome to my colorful corner of the world. I was at one point. My head was directly like he was like a knot in my hair. It was very funny. I had arms growing out of my head, but I repositioned myself, and oh, look at the pretty colors. So, I haven't been at the screen for a while now, and that is because this is all sort of a daily living thing and a balancing thing. And I had a couple of head scratchers. Really did. They were puzzlers. So I got some more information about the first puzzler. That's Bartok. Hi, dude. And I want to share my first puzzler. And then I'll share my second. I'm not really sure what to make of my second. So I want to pass that on because if there's ever a question like how does this work with Kathy, well, some of it is I'm just stumped and I have to just scratch my head. So all right, so I woke up one morning and I had this vision in my head, this picture in my head. There was an old-fashioned 50s diner up a little bit of a hill, but it was kind of a steep incline. The diner was on land that was elevated, and it certainly wasn't a gentle incline. And that's where I wanted to eat, and I was with friends. So my vehicle was an old like crapped out Cadillac with fins. It's just like kind of retro and kind of last leggy, and it wasn't working, but we wanted to go eat up there. And so I don't know how it came to pass, but we were almost going to try and push that Cadillac up that hill. And then I had to think about it, and I realized, wait a minute, if we don't make it, we're all going to get smushed. And the car's probably going to, get damaged. Oh my gosh. And I was left just stumped. I was left right there. It's like, okay, well, have fun with that. We'll see you tonight. What do I do with that? And what I initially got was, well, all right. What's important here is I need to engage in the path of least resistance because that would be safest for me. Don't push the river. Don't force. Okay, well, that's a nice message, right? That's very Richard Bach, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, right? All right, but today something else came through. But in the intervening time, I had another puzzler. And again, it was shared and witnessed and all that stuff. So we had my son and I have had really just like peace in the valley, which is really it's new, and we've had to work at it and really intend to fill up our home with appreciation and gentleness and honesty and talking. And it's really been a phenomenal thing. I told him a couple days ago, I feel like I'm watching someone blossom right in front of me. And so it's really a lovely thing to be part of too, after having been so traumatized and hurt. And it just, he told me a couple days ago, well, Mom, I think of this last year as sort of like a chrysalis. And you just need time. And there's nothing to do, you just have to be. And then something else happens. I thought, wow. Very nicely done, Sam. Look at the insight on Sam. So it really has been for me too. I mean, I went through my hip got replaced in March, and then I had a couple of setbacks that kind of just slowed things down, and I'm pushing my body to relearn that it's safe, because it behaves in such a way that it protects me, and I need to behave in such a way that I prove to it that I'm I'm courageous and safe, and it's safe, and I know I'm safe. So it was just a big insult on my body structure, and it took a while to feel safe in it. And so anyway, the thing that I had said I was going to set out and do, I did. And so I've been working valiantly at getting something in place that really is just really, really great for me. And and I knew for a fact that car thingy had to do with my my desire to be employed and all of that. That I need to, continue to strive. But I don't want to go downhill. I want to go uphill. So how do I do that? How do I do that? So then this morning, here it comes. I understood. Yeah, it's the first understanding is about resistance and flow. Sure, it's important to remember that it's to surrender to what's in front of you and to see it for what it is. However, there's such a thing as will, and you have something you want to do, or be, or experience, and the means with which you are going to experience it doesn't function. Well, that's the point. Now, what do you do? Is it important enough that you're going to experience it anyway? You're going to figure out a workaround? Well, in the instance of the morning time, we were thinking of a workaround, but we were thinking very linearly in that to get from one place to another, you drive your car. Isn't that the construct? It was just up a hill. But that was the construct, the understanding, the expectation. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And so this morning I saw us walking up a hill and into the diner. It was really great. And so the lesson, I think, is that sometimes the obstacles are there you can take the path of least resistance, but then if it's a situation where by doing so your life will be altered in a way that you don't want it to be altered. You don't want your life to be altered. You have something in mind. Then, what do? Do you surrender anyway and go where the flow takes you? Well, I love being in moments when I know I'm literally being carried. I'm being presented by things that are beyond my ken. I could never have made it this good. I never could have made it this perfect. And those are wonderful moments. Those are wonderful days and weeks and hopefully years and years and years. Isn't that the idea? So the other puzzler that came after I saw the initial picture of us considering pushing this mammoth car up this incline, boy. And today's understanding, Sam and I had a sour day. It had been a tough day for him. I guess a tough day for me. I don't know. I never feel much different. And it just there was a lot of irritability. And sometimes you just have to say, wow, it's pretty there's some irritability here today. I love you anyway, but I mean, I know you see it. I see it. So I love you. What can I do for you? What's wrong? That kind of thing. But that day we couldn't get there. It was like, rawr! And I was sleeping, finally asleep. About 1 o'clock in the morning, Sam burst into my room and said, Mom, the car has been broken into. And surely somebody had gone through the glove compartment and strewn things from the glove compartment, but didn't take things that it would have been wise to have done. Didn't do that. And then Sam was really upset because he didn't feel, he blamed me initially. And I, of course, did not react very fondly to that. And that's not the time or the place to have a power struggle, but that's indeed what happened. Because I just melt into my 7-year-old who's being, you know, who's just in despair and completely powerless. It's like, what? So it wasn't a good place. We talked about it later, and after I realized, oh, he was angry because he was scared. Oh, and he was angry because he was not feeling safe, and I'm the one that protects him. And you know, that's how it's always gone. And with that kind of violation, yikes. It really helps to have someone to blame other than yourself. Really, really helps. So I understand it. But yeah, I'm no longer gonna take that as mine and believe that I'm a bad person or a bad parent, or that I actually deserved that bizarre behavior from some human being who was having a tough day. But our car wasn't violated, it just was opened. I don't know how it happened. So the thing is that I was going to go do something. I had all these plans. Every day this week I had plans. And they were in the bag plans. They were important plans. And every single day they fell through. And on this day, I looked for my wallet and I could not find it. I looked high and I looked low. Nope. And when it's not in the house anywhere, then I know it must be in the car. It must have fallen out. That's the only thing. That's a better option than, oh, I'm SOL. So I always go down to my car. Nope. And they'd taken about $30 in loose change from my, converted ashtray. Now it's a gold mine. And we looked and couldn't there was no wallet anywhere. So I called the police and made a report. And then I found out that another person had gotten their car broken into just across the way. And her car the window had been smashed. So, golly, I've been stolen from a lot. Not a lot, actually. Once we were cased once, and they took a little bit, and then they came back a week later and just cleared us out. And then one time I lived in a really a pretty off the chain neighborhood, and I came home and somebody was exiting my apartment with my jewelry box. I took it back and said, "Get the fuck out of here. This is mine." How did I do that? I don't know. Why didn't I get shot? I don't know. But it was also the 90s, so not everyone was armed. Oh my God. But this, it's like whenever that happens, it's just very, it's just not okay. It's a big deal. And so what I told Sam is now the only thing to figure out is, why did they choose me? What's going on here? What's really going on here? They could have chosen anybody in that lot. Why me? Well, I didn't have a license. I didn't have a credit card. I canceled the credit card. Spent $25 on postage so I get another one. Keep the keep the lights on and everything. Then did what I could do. I did events and did things this and that as I needed to. And I was never questioned. Nothing bad happened. And then, well, I'm gonna pick up a friend, and we're gonna go to a place that requires your driver's license. And it's something that I really need, but I may not be able to get because I don't have a driver's license. But I really don't care, because I want to meet my friends. And it's very important that they establish their time there, and then I can go back later. I'll just make another appointment. That was my plan. So it's been a couple days since I lost my wallet. I'm feeling forlorn, wondering when I'm going to be able to get, things that I really would desire. And I opened up the back door again and looked through that again, And there was my wallet. I had, in the meantime, finally quieted down enough to get my chime out, quiet down, and in my mind feel that wallet and love it. And I didn't really feel any attachment to it, just like, hey, you know, you're mine, you're part of me, and I really want you back. If there's any way, if there's just any way, just, you know, it'd be great. Ding! And it was about a day before I found it again. So, that's sort of like, you know, I think the question before us is, when you have things happen in your life, how do you interpret them? Is it because, you know, Sandra's a bully, or because the world is shit, or because of the patriarchy, or because of this or that? Or is this info for you? It's not a punishment. That's what I told Sam. Hey, okay, now we got to figure it. Let's figure it this way. Let's just do a science experiment. Let's pretend that this is somehow, this is going to benefit us. Okay, somehow. So for me, I know it'll benefit me because my driver's license picture makes me look like I'm a man, and I kind of would like to at least put on mascara next time, because it's like frightful. And he was all about, oh yeah, I could do a new picture, and that's so cool, and la la la. Yeah, there's some heavy lifting if you have to replace everything. But I wasn't going to see this as some sort of tragedy. The only tragedy I had in my life is that I have people who I don't feel close enough to ask for help when I need help. And I have others who I know better not to ask for help. And that's the saddest part of all for me. But I would rather just figure it out myself. And I did, you know, when my identity papers go missing, when my life, when that whole thing goes missing, then that lets me know that I have I've misplaced something kind of important. And by not seeing it, simply by not seeing it, I'm poor, and I'm in crisis. But it's right there. And it could have been that some tough had stolen my wallet, but I chose to see it that I always choose to see it that way, because it's my stuff, it's my orange energy, it's my reality that someone else thinks they can take. What? So I told Sam from the very beginning, hey, here's how I've dealt with it when I've had people steal from me or try. Hey, except for that jewelry box, because that was everything. That was like heirlooms that I still have, and I was a gypsy. I moved all the time, so it was really important to keep that, and it was worth fighting for. If someone is willing to walk into my reality and do that, to malfunction to that degree in this reality, they need it more than I do. And there's no further attachment. They're done. It's done. And I still have that feeling, but I also know that I'm protected, and I also know that I don't abide monkey business and mischief. That car is protected. What the hell? What's going on here? What's going on here? Well, they did take one of the handicap placards. Maybe that's what they were after. I don't know. But they didn't hurt it in any way. So I'll tell you about something else that happened at the end of last week. I was on I-70 and I was driving about 65. It was a speed limit. It's fast out there. And I was going with the traffic, but it was legal, and we were buzzing. And that's always a patch of road I just don't like. There's just one section that I just don't feel comfortable in it, and I don't know why, but I just do. And so I'm driving in that area, and I'm thinking to myself, because I got a tire that's sort of like it needs some help. I've got an appointment to see them, and I'm thinking, holy crap, I'm going at such a fast speed, and I'm in lanes of traffic. anything on this car could blow at any minute. I am only by some act of trust. I mean, it's potential. It's not a potential. It's a possible. It's a possibility. And there are some times in life when I feel it. It's just like, oh my God, I'm creating this out of thin air. Oh my God. It's all held together. It's oh my God, like that. And I kind of felt that way. And I was like, shit. But then I realized, no, wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. And I could see this fireball. And, metal flying and just... I thought, I'd still be okay. And I couldn't exit if it wasn't in alignment with everything else and for the highest good. So wow, I'm still okay. And about 2 minutes later or less, a car passed me on the left, and it was a truck. And then all of a sudden, my car went boom, 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 boom. And then there was the traffic stopped, and there was big things of lumber all over the road. And I looked at, I put my head out of the window and looked at my car and said, what the F? But it didn't seem, I didn't have any damage, so I kept on rolling. When I got up to my friend's house, I got out of the car and looked. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I got up there and looked. Not a scratch. Not a scratch. I'll be okay either way. So, when do the nightmare scenarios end? When does this fear mongering come to an end? Because I'm okay. I've been okay. I am now. And I will always remain okay. And, it depends on what metric you're using. And the metric I'm using is one that entertains the validity of my spiritual pursuits, of my visions, of my writings, of my heart, and generosity, and kindness. And so, I know there's a lot of complaint about, and I know there's a lot of people feeling unsafe and feeling threatened and doing a lot of attacking and stuff. I mean, oh God, and how bad men have it. Oh geez, it's so hard for them right now, and they're just cracking it open, and it's ow, 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 ow. And the third wave feminists, ow, 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 ow. Everybody's saying ow, 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 ow. You want to know why? You know what really got me? I finally realized it. Especially with that feminism and men's rights and all that stuff. Boy, it's exhausting. And it's very valid and true and valuable to talk about. Because it affects not only our heart, but also our very DNA when we're dealing with matters that are more sexual. It's much more deep and primal. And so things like sexual identity and things like that, that's a big deal, And disordered sexuality is really at the root of a lot of this. But, that means that how we've been thinking about things is not correct, not very healthy. How about that? Not healthy. And so that means that you've got to question some really, really root beliefs, some really core things. And some people are up to that, and some people feel threatened by that. Okay, whatever. You're supposed to feel a little threatened. Cognitive dissonance is not particularly pleasant, but is part of the learning process. So, yeah, and I've had some very strenuous conversations and really, really wonderful conversations, but I haven't seen a lot of movement. Just a little bit by the end of the week. Yep. So I want to move on to the eclipse information because I'm gonna be doing a a group at a public park on during the time of the eclipse. It's going to be the first of hopefully many. But we'll have the forgiveness bowl with us and some water and ice and stuff. And we're just going to be in the eclipse energies. But I want to explain what eclipse energies are for those who are curious how I name things, define things. How I've used the eclipse energy, I was very, very clear about eclipse energies throughout the work, especially in 17. And this all began with when I saw a Kaipacha video, when he said, hey, if you've got your Virgo at 4 degrees of blah blah in this other blah blah house, it's like, it's go time, dude. You are really on fire. This is it for you. This isn't a lifetime thing. This is a soul thing. So I went, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. I wonder who the lucky winners are. And it was me. So I began studying my natal chart. And it is as strenuous as a conversation with me sometimes is. And it is something that I decided that I was going to say thank you to and unplug energetically and magnetically. And I did that with the eclipses in 2017. And this is related to DNA activation. It was related to a lot of stuff. It was all meditative, but it was very, very led and very beautiful and very not for everybody. And so I felt I felt like these events were highly, highly, highly personal. The ones in 17, I had been a Pisces with my ascendant, and I have a stellium in Pisces and the stellium in Virgo, opposite, exact opposite, the North Node and Pluto and Chiron, I think. Welcome to Earth, Kath. And then this big old yod. It's like, whoa, all right. Okay, here we go. And the reason I can kind of joke about that now and think that maybe you get the joke too is that Sun is opposite Pluto retrograde on Thursday. That was my natal chart. It kept happening the whole time. It kept hitting on things, releasing me from agreements and bondages and lifetimes. So I walk into this one completely reverent, expectant, grateful, feeling truly like I've mastered this energy. I have harnessed it. And I've given it away before. I see the eclipses, no matter if they're total or partial. It's a metaphor, of course, you know. And they say that this is like a new moon or whatever. I've never heard that one before, but I see it mainly as it's a shadow that goes over a light source, and that shadow is related to an object in space. And these two objects, for a moment, face each other, confront each other, reunite with one another, love one another. And as that happens, the magnetics are changed. It is not only a magical time, it is a void time. Anything you want to get rid of, you can put in that void. And it's as gone as you think it is, because it's gone. You can keep it around all you want. But, you know, time is needed to take on big changes in personality. And because that has to do with expectation, assumption, behaviors, reactions, and those reactions are, you know, in the moment. And oftentimes they're from biological coding that you are even consciously aware that is there. All you can be consciously aware of are the patterns. And, if you want to think of it, maybe the eclipse is a way to erase the patterns, to wipe the chalkboard clear. But I didn't see it that way. I have never used them that way. It's a clean slate. If I'm wise, if I understand this energy, if I understand that this is a gift, I will honor the person giving me that gift by using it to my benefit and joy. So we're going to gather, and we're each going to have our little conundrum, our little, the pebble that's in our shoe. We don't really have to talk about them. We're just going to put them in a crystal bowl and then build the energy up. I'll talk about, ascension stuff and celestial trigger stuff and how it relates to DNA and all that stuff. And then I'm sure, I get messages all the time, but I muzzle myself, so I'll get nudged and I'll start talking probably, if it's desired. But then it turns into a group discussion. But with the understanding of within the energetic environment, which will be pristine. Because it's a big deal, I think. And, there's the camp of, wishing it makes it so. Thinking, and somehow trivializing that. No, spend some time on the placebo effect. Read about that just a little bit. Begin to realize how powerful energetic medicine is. And how limitless we are. And how much we have been... how cooperatively we've given our power away for so long. But, that's all shifting too. Because, wow, Gaia is really waking up. There is something really big going on. It's just, it's vibrant in a brand new way. There's such relief. There's such relief. So I know that relief. When you get to the final stretch and you can actually see that there's going to be a finish line. Up until then, it's just a hypothetical. Not really even sure where you're going, and then there it is. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh my God. I never thought I'd see this day. But with all that I've learned about, from all of the sources, and but more, that's just a cloud of confirmation. I've always gotten my information in kind of a direct way, visual and auditory, and certainly through allegory and metaphor experience. But I think that everybody can live that way. But it requires a little bit of, it's really hard when you realize that you brought some of this stuff on. But that's where it just you got to go right to the next thing of, I'm switching from one to another. We're going from something old to something new. And the two are relatively non-negotiable in that where we're going includes where we've been, but doesn't resonate with a lot of it and knows how to deal with it. And it's a better place. And it's right now, I talk about the event and how the event is actually, people going ding. And I do think that I can't help but think when I hear some of the channelings especially coming out. But I've had this thought for about 3 or 4 months, maybe longer. I think a lot of this is just limbering us up to transition. I think that's what's on the docket here. And I think they're trying to make us comfortable. And it's kind of like, where do you put that? When really it's all about, we can be in a physical body as long as you want. And it's your energy, but it's in a system. It's on a planet. It has a purpose. This all has a purpose. And that's what I keep feeling, is this prime creative purpose, this prime creator energy, this source energy of just everything else needs to fall away. Keeping up with things. I'm so proud of myself. I got a book now, and I'm making appointments and keeping things popping, and doing very well in that regard. And that's always been a little bit of a hard place for me. But as I've said, some of the social stuff is less of a factor due to some of the insights I've had. But also, I just most of it has to do with just being super comfortable now. And just really not, I'm just not going to, there's just, it's just, I'm not going to fight anymore. I'm not going to whine anymore. I'm not going to complain anymore, but I'm not going to take some things that regularly serve me without, in the same way. And whether that is noticed or not, I don't care. But that's what really has kind of shifted, is that my individual frequency, my signature, is important to me, is beautiful to me, and it's not worth defending and all that stuff. It just is. It's so exquisite to me. And that allows me to deal with all of this with so much more respect for myself. And it's respect that I like to have mirrored back to me. And so if I don't get that, well, all right. That's somebody who's hurting. Somebody who's not understanding that I'm a friend. I'm a friendly. I'm not the enemy. But, that I've been P&Ming about that since 12, when I was turned on like a Roman candle, and I just wanted to give everyone a big, huge teddy bear hug, and people were just so put off by that. It's like, what's wrong with you? And I felt so sad all the time, so sad, because I couldn't give my love away. But still, I had not turned that love light on to me. I'd been feeling it, and feeling it course through me, and of course the only thing I really want to do is to give it away. But there's a process of bringing that light up and around, and realizing that this huge beam of love that you've been, it's really, really a good idea to hold yourself in that beam too. And you only have to do that once, and everything changes. It's a self-realization. I think it's that turn. It's the twist that's needed to just open the heart, not to anything except your own worth and your own beauty and majesty, your own beautiful intentions and your own love. So, isn't that a lovely gift to leave you with? I think so. So I'll be doing that doodad, and I'm gigging, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying my son. And it's really this and other projects that I want to focus on now, and I'm really looking forward to my day job. I can't wait. I'm really super excited about that. So, I'm really excited. So, and do I have one yet? No, I do not. But would you know that? No, you would not. Because to me, I already have it. And when I can be in those moments, it just makes it more and more real. And I'm not sitting on my butt saying, "Oh, I wish I had a job." It's not like that. There's a lot going into a search in an industry that's pretty well saturated. So Grandma Vic's gonna perform another miracle now. Oh well. What else is there to do around here? I could eat. I'm hungry. That would be really good. Peanut butter toast and strawberries. Doesn't that sound great? All right, it's a long one, and it's for those who are dedicated, I guess. But boy, did we cover a lot of ground, didn't we? If you can't join me in the park, that's fine. It's an individual experience anyway. But imagine that an eclipse is a time where you can, by yourself, by virtue of your creator status as being part of creator, you can declare something null and void in your life. A pattern, an expectation, a belief, or a natal chart. It doesn't matter. It's a gift. How you use it, well, the more beneficial it is to you and to others, the happier the gift giver is. So sometimes these are best done in quiet contemplation and meditation. Sometimes they're done on a dance floor. Sometimes they're done in a bathtub. So wherever it finds you is the perfect place to be, of course. Of course. But it's nice sometimes to hook into these celestial events and realize that we have some help. And it means just slowing down, thinking it through, with the underlying texture of the reality being that there are gifts and benefits here, and this is all about awakening. And then sometimes very unusual things come into very fine focus. I have noticed with this project, with this process, is softening, and that sometimes is really comes from that aversive kind of thing of something that used to be normal is now aversive. You know any smokers? A lot of them are like, "Oh, get that thing away from me." Okay, so that's okay. That's a part of the process of just like having an aversion to the thing that used to be something that you thought was really good for you, or you enjoyed, and now suddenly you've decided, or you've over a period of months or years decided, yeah, this isn't healthy, and I'm finally showing the effects to the place where it's sink or swim. I gotta change. When that happens, and sometimes that's these gamma bursts, we're just getting those downloaded to us, and we can take advantage of them if we want. Then, of course, the things that used to be okay are going to begin to look a little foreign, and you're going to feel uncomfortable, and that discomfort will grow and grow and grow and grow because it's no longer frequentially matched. It's not resonant. And so when that happens, you need to look at it. Did I call this to me? Is this a conscious creation? Well, then perhaps I should stop whining and figure out a way to roll with this, because I'm in motion right now, and things are not what they used to be, and they're not what they're going to be. So I acknowledge that I am in change, and I brought it on. So the saddle feels good. My feet are in the stirrups. The hair's whipping behind me. The horse is breathing easy and steady and galloping. And everything is fine. There's not duality with this much discovery and curiosity and benevolence. It becomes an old idiom, an old saw, something from another time. And I'm glad of that, as I am of many things, including the peanut butter toast I'm going to eat as I review this. And if it meets my approval, then I'll send it out with great love, with words of hope and homecoming and thanksgiving, of completion and relief, and that wonderful sensation you get that runs through your whole body when you know that something brand new is right here, and it's good. You know that feeling? I do. And that's what this is. So the anxieties and the worries and the complaints and the fears and the doubts and the limitations, you know, it's really okay to imagine that, oh, that's one big wall of noise. Well, who's got the dials here? And so sometimes I'll say, okay, we got to do it fast when I'm on the highway. Okay, we got to go down with that, up with the other stuff. I can't do this anymore. And it works. It really works. For me, that's all I can say. All right, so your resident ascensionist in your skull t-shirt says, hi, peace from me and my bud. I hope that you're well and happy. I hope that you are peaceful and hopeful, and I hope that you're kind. I hope that you're gentle. I hope that you understand that people are in distress, and so you don't have to take on, you know, massive amounts of someone else's pain. However, being in the moment, being authentic, and really listening really can help. It's medicine. Being heard. There's honor when you're truly heard. And to not have that isn't necessarily disrespectful or dishonoring. It just lacks honor. Lacks love. And we're moving from that time. And we're creating it as we go. Flash of light and big event or not. And I'm very, very glad I can stand as a representative of someone who unwittingly hung on and complained and bitched about it the whole time. This hurts, this hurts. Yeah, it really did for a super long time. But it doesn't hurt. And I've said that before, haven't I? It doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah, you may have some dips, but that's the thing. Even with the wallet thing, I never went there. I never went to the place where I thought one bad thing about myself. Not once. Not once. And you'd think that'd be a really weird thing to invite yourself to call yourself out on, but believe me, it used to be not only optional, it was actually kind of mandatory. And so yeah, that's all gone. And for my friend Melissa, hey, the self-flagellation, yeah, I know. It was a really, really tough addiction. I admit it. I was a junkie, but I am cured, okay? All right. Namaste.